In that unfulfillment, I found myself not really ever being satisfied with where I was. I was really deeply into drugs, deeply into alcohol and the partying scene. Wake up early, go to work. I used to work for a hotel. Get off work, do some sort of drug, depending on who I was with. If I was out with my friends, it would be something else. If I was just at home, it would be something else. But man, it was just so tiring, like working out of myself for seemingly no purpose. Like I really didn't feel like there was anything there for me. I went traveling a lot and it was fun, but I was running away from myself, from situations that I had created out of myself. There were a lot of moments of me like really contemplating, what's my deal? Like, what's my deal in life? What's that supposed to be? And I actually had these experiences where I almost died. You have to think like, okay, maybe there's something there that's helping me. Maybe there's something there that needs me to be alive, that I actually do have a purpose that's set for me and I just don't know it. When I got back home, I went into looking at a lot of other religions, but no other religion has a person like Jesus. No other religion has a figure of forgiveness that would actually take someone like me who is deeply in himself and so self-centered and self-righteous and thinking that I had all of my own answers. No other religion had that. It wasn't like anything I had ever seen before. It's cheesy, but it really was like family. I remember very specifically, he challenged us and said, you should write down what God is trying to say to you right now. And I remember taking my journal and just doing like stream of consciousness writing, like no filter, you just write down words. What I wrote was not my own writing. I wrote, free yourself from your shackles of doubt and know that you are my son. And it totally changed the way that I viewed God. And yeah, that next ministry night, I was just in prayer and there was no moment of like public, like, oh, I accept you, Jesus. I knew that something was happening in my heart and I knew that I wanted it. You know, when I was really partying a lot in my own life and really self-centered, I was craving control. Because when I was like drinking and like, doing a lot of drugs and that kind of stuff, really I was running away. But instead of running away into like nothing or into my own self or into my own body and my own flesh, I'm really diving into the depth of God. There was this one moment where we had 3 teenage kids and one of them sat down and he was like mocking us. In that moment, I knew that Jesus loved him. I knew that Jesus loved him. And I just looked at him and I said, God sees you, God loves you, he knows where you're at, he knows all about your family, and he just wants to know you, he wants you to know him. Later, at the end of the event, something like 33 kids just ran up to the front.
Jesus! Jesus! I'm in!
And they all just gave their lives to the Lord. And those 3 teenage kids that were being rude to us and making fun of us and mocking us went up there and gave their lives to the Lord. And on the way back, I was just in tears, like, here I am, like, 2 months saved, and yet he deemed me worthy to share his word and his love.